Hello world, how's it going this morning? Hope everyone is doing well. We had Mo Flips in first, Danny EMM, welcome. Renee. World, how's it going this morning? Welcome. Piper John, good morning, brother. How you doing? Monty in Texas. Hope everything is well. L the 24 picker, good morning, good morning. Michelle Lathan, how's it going today down in Richmond? Let me see, Danny EMM's in Charleston. How's it going in Charleston? And Renee, Kathleen Newberry in Memphis, Tennessee. I try to learn everybody. Maria Nunez, how's it going? Marcos. Mo Flips in Missouri, how's it going? Dawn. Hope everyone is doing well. So we talked a little bit on Justin's show this morning. The last week has been a grind. Justin went over his numbers, and they're eerily similar to mine. And we're both in Virginia. Not large sellers by any means, but I've done in this past week numbers I'm used to doing in a day or two, literally. So it's doing this flipping full time is a job. And that's the bottom line. It's more freeing than a cubicle, but it still is a job. But weeks like this is when it turns into a grind, a real grind. Everybody calls it a grind and, kid, laugh, joke. But, if you work for yourself, it's a great gig. And it still is. But when the sales aren't there, it's a grind. Sometimes you're like, man, why am I doing this? Good morning, Candace. Hope your subscriber base is growing. Candace has a new channel, and Justin was really pumping her up this morning. So if you haven't checked Candace out, go check her out. You can link your channel if you want to, Candace, and a mod will approve it. Hawk, good morning. Maria H-Town, is that Hagerstown, Maryland, or some other town? I'm not sure. I've been through Hagerstown before, or Pennsylvania. I said Maryland, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. Mary, good morning from Dublin, Ohio. Awesome. Picking Builder, good morning. Thank you for popping in the chat. We appreciate it a million. Everybody that participates, I do appreciate that. Diane Matthews, Gina. Oops, sorry, getting a hold of ourselves there. Steampunk Town, good morning. Dawn's low in Florida as well. Cindy Rosen, good morning. Steampunk Town just jumped on how we're sales. Yeah, not good. Yeah. This stupid thing, it's done that to me before. Freaking Google logging me out and making me log back in again in the middle of a live hangout. It's the most stupid thing, and I don't know why it does it. Sorry about that, guys. That irks me. God, anyway. But we talked about that period from Monday till Tuesday night that I didn't sell anything. And I don't know if anybody else sent Twitter messages like I did, like trying to get people to do on Wednesday, but they responded with their normal BS bullcrap, like blah, 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 blah. It's just normal fluctuations, this and that. And I'm like, and I responded back to them like, it's awfully peculiar that not only myself, who is a decently sized seller, but my, hundreds of YouTube subscribers had the same kind of bad deal that Monday through Tuesday night, and they didn't have an answer for that, of course. So, but anyway, sorry for the blackout there. The stupid Google Hangouts logging me out and had to log back in. I don't know why it does that. Let me see here. F&P. Good morning. He's down in the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Awesome area. Thanks, Justin. Justin's pulling his orders at his storage. Maria's in Houston, Texas. I'm a big Dallas Keuchel fan. I'm an Arkansas fan, and Dallas Keuchel went to pitch for Arkansas before he moved on to great success in Houston. Yeah, I heard about that, Mo. I saw you in Justin's thing. You had some good picks. Cole, good morning. How's it going? Karen Henderson in Indiana. Fran, good morning. Jacob, how's it going? Mike, the Maniac Picker, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so yeah, so same old, just in, you know, all you have is hope. Every day you wake up, you're like, man, I hope today's the day I have normal sales. As in nothing so far today, so it hasn't cracked yet. But one day, I had poor sales on eBay, and I actually made a Poshmark sale on that day, so that kind of saved me. So yeah, I've been really making a concerted effort. If I whoa, Karen Henderson, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. You are so awesome. And people like you are what keeps me coming back. A lot of times, even this is a grind. And, if your subscribers are lagging, you feel like, your content is getting monotonous and you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're like, why am I even doing this? But people like you are why we do it. So thank you for that. Justin is listening. Justin, I apologize for being AWOL from the working hangouts. It's just, you know, everything's been a grind and a lot of stuff going on that, I don't talk about in real life, beyond the dental stuff and, all that other stuff. But, I do want to start hanging out in the live hangouts again. I tried a couple of times and had that issue with this microphone. What I'm going to do from here on out, because I don't want to wear headphones, but if I don't have the microphone plugged in, I can just run it through my Mac. I'm going to unplug my microphone and start hanging out in the working hangouts again. So, and that'll work fine because I've done that before. So, yeah. But anyway, but yeah, I was talking about Poshmark. What I'm doing now with Poshmark is I have been, casually cross posting stuff. When I list it on eBay, I'll cross post to Poshmark. Haven't been really doing the social thing on Poshmark, as in sharing people's stuff, sharing my own stuff. But I'm doing that every day now. Especially if I list clothing on eBay, it's getting cross posted to Poshmark the same day, no exceptions. So yeah, I'm doing that from here on out. Period. And sharing other people's stuff. Somebody answer this question for me, and I have a trouble. I'm fairly technically adept, but on Poshmark, like I follow people and stuff. I have all my followers, and I follow people as well. And I follow, Andy the Parrot Picker, Justin, Craig the Land Shark Hunter, and Glenn the Swamp Picker, and several other people on Poshmark. How do I find them? I want to share their stuff. People I know. Like yesterday, I've somehow stumbled upon Andy's when I was looking around, so I shared all of Andy's stuff, the Parrothead Picker, and I was going to, share Justin's stuff and Craig's stuff and Glenn's stuff. But what's an easy way to find who you want to find on, if you don't know their username off the top of your head, which I don't, how do you find people on Poshmark? But anyway, yeah, somebody let me know if they know about that. Shows how new Poshmark is still to me. I only have about 80 items on Poshmark, but I'm going to get it up over 100 really soon. Yeah, but anyway, thanks again, Karen Henderson. Like I said, you are the reason why we do it. Maniac Picker, Mike the Maniac Picker. One of these days, I will get a few sales at once. Yeah, that's what I keep on hoping. Every day I wake up, I'm like, well, what? This morning, every day when I wake up, this is the first thought that pops in my head. I have my phone right by my bedside, and I'll just lounge around for 10 or 15 minutes before I actually get up. I'll wake up, get the crap out of my eyes, and I pick up my phone, and the first thing I think before I even turn it on, I go, I hope there's a few sales here, and I get those notifications on the landing screen. But the past week, nothing overnight. So sad to start the day like that. Candace Hicks says, I'm ready for the Christmas season to be back for sales. No doubt. No doubt about that at all. What's funny is January wasn't that bad for me. It was only about 20% down from the Christmas sale season, which is not bad. And the first week of February wasn't even that bad for me. But this past week to 10 days, whoo, doggies, not good. No bueno. Let me see here. Maria says no sales today so far, but did get a lowball offer. Yeah, and I've been getting a lot of those as well, Maria. I've had a lot of lowball offers on Poshmark actually, which is to be expected. That's part of the deal there, and even a few on eBay. So, and I've countered all of them. You know, I countered with a more reasonable amount, and of course, they're not taking the bait because they really want to get something for nothing. But even if I'm not making sales, homie, don't play that. I don't, you know, if anybody remembers In Living Color, that old TV show, yeah, I don't play that way. Even if I don't have any sales, I'm not going to take low balls. Cole, no, I do not sell on Mercari. I feel eBay and Poshmark by themselves take up all of my time. So I just don't want to spread myself even thinner. If I do spread out to another thing, it's going to be Amazon FBA. If I do spread out to another thing, Mercari is like the last thing on the list if I ever get enough time, which I don't think I will. Let me see here. You have to know the name. Isn't that crazy, Michelle? Michelle Lathan says you have to know the name on Poshmark. That's just crazy to me. Why can't I go to a list or favorite, you know, and find them easily? Find their meet your Posher post and like it. And then you can go to your likes. Oh, see, there you go, Diane. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. So that's a good tip. I will do that. I know Andy's stuff, but I got to find Justin and Glenn and Craig and a few others as well. And Lauren, Hot Chic Thrift. And yeah, I know there's some others I'm missing. I apologize, but I don't know. I was thinking same thing. It's new to me too. Oh yeah, the Poshmark Monty. Yeah. Good morning, hot hip flipping mama. How you doing this morning? I popped into her show this morning. She does an early show, even earlier than Justin. I popped into hers and chatted a little bit this morning. So yeah, that was fun. Gina, I don't know. Let me see here. Scrolling back up. I don't know. I think you have to know their name. Yeah. 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 Monty cross posts everything on eBay to Mercari, you know. So yeah. I hope so, Mike, the Maniac Picker, in time for the President's Day sales. I hope so. I really hope so. Let me see. In Living Color, yeah. I like that show. I was, you know, a teenager when that was on. That was one of my favorite shows. Danny, how do you know what shipping to use selling an item on eBay? There shipping, a lot of people think it's straightforward and easy, but it's not because it changes constantly. Like there was a time period for about 3 months there that Pirate Ship was it. Their calculated plus was just as cheap as eBay, and they had Cubic, so everybody shifted over that. Well, with the rate increases in January, now eBay is cheaper if you're a top rated seller than Pirate Ship, but Cubic, if your item qualifies for Cubic, is still cheaper than commercial plus pricing if you're top rated seller on eBay. There's a lot involved, and people, it's an underappreciated thing of the knowledge. I kid with my wife all the time. I'm like, I could be like a shipping manager somewhere because all this crap is in my head, you know, between, you know, if an item's better for first class or priority. If it's priority, is it better for Cubic? If it's better for Cubic, is a regional rate is good or better? Okay, if it's regional rate or Cubic, FedEx sometimes is cheaper. FedEx home delivery or FedEx Super Saver. So yeah, that's a whole topic I could probably talk an hour on to get in depth about. But just check them all. Check eBay, both Postal Service and FedEx. FedEx only if it's a big item, heavy item going far. But if it's a big item, not over 18 inches, heavy item going far, you may be able to do priority mail Cubic. But if it's over 18 inches, you may, you know, check FedEx. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I'm sorry. That was just a brief synopsis. Let me see here. Sorry, I know that's confusing, Danny. I just went on a kind of a ramble there. Monty talked about Bonanza, and I had signed up for Bonanza last year, and I would make us, you know, 2 or 3 sales a month on it. There wasn't a great sales velocity, but they made it easy where they would import your eBay listings automatically, and if you sold something on a Bonanza, it would delete the eBay listing automatically. But For some reason, that stopped happening for me. I got double hit a couple of times because if I'd make a sell on Bonanza, I was expecting it to automatically delete on eBay. And for some reason, all of a sudden, it wasn't doing that. And I would email Bonanza and go, "What's going on?" And never got any answer. So eventually, I just closed my Bonanza accounts because I can't, take that chance of a double sale when their platform isn't working like it should. But yeah, Bonanza was an automatic import, automatic delete in theory. You Yeah. Karen says you get so many new tags. I wouldn't take lowball offers either. Nope. Just don't do it. Your share history, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Hip Flip Mama says, yes, I was shocked. I was so used to using pirate ship and then wow, what? Yeah, it completely changed. It got flipped on its head with that increase. Hey Kent, how you doing this morning? Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. Mo's getting good at estimated shipping without a scale order printer. Yep. Candace, and it's funny how different people don't like different things. Like Candace says she doesn't like the shipping part of it, and she would pay someone to do it. The shipping doesn't bother me at all for some reason. It for me, and listing doesn't even bother me. What bothers me is prepping like clothing for listing. I wished I could hire someone to do that, and listing it would be great as well. But maybe one day, but not anytime soon. Yeah. It's funny how people, we all like and dislike different parts of it. Danny asks, so when you're listing the item, how are people putting in the shipping in with the price if it is location based? Putting shipping in. Oh, you're talking about like people that do flat rate shipping. That's usually more experienced people that have a pretty set looking inventory. Like they know this item is going to be first class shipping and they know about what it's going to be. So they charge a flat, $4.99 shipping and now probably $5.99 since that increase. Or they know something will fit in a certain box like a regional rate A or to be cubic and they charge a flat, $9.99. They just know with experience and they've chosen to do that. Because if they know about that, they really will make money on their shipping because they'll upcharge just a little bit, 50 cents or $1 if they're doing flat rate shipping. And that's all experience, and consistency of inventory. My inventory is so vast and different and weird and just random crap that I do calculated on everything. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Denise. I was wondering with his username if that dude was a troll. So not cool in that username. I don't care if you're trying to be funny and punish or whatever, but yeah, that name is not cool. Hey, Pick and Roll. Good morning. Thank you, Anissa, for being on top of the trolls this morning. Appreciate it. And if you're listening, if it's bots, whatever, but if you're real troll sitting in your computer, get a life. Get out of mama's basement. Get out behind the keyboard. Go get a job. Quit being a loser. Yes, Trina, it's a troll. Candace says she'll trade clothing listing for shipping. I would do that in a heartbeat. Like if you were a next door neighbor, I would take you over a basket of clothes and you'd hand me your basket of stuff to ship and I would do that. 100%. Yeah, they're here, Mo. They took care of them. And usually these, especially that many messages, it's usually bots, but yeah, like I said, if it's a real life troll, get a life. And thank you to the wrenches. Thank you, Denise and Anissa, for taking care of all that. And good morning, Denise from Minnesota and Anissa from Pennsylvania. Thank you for coming in. Hey, Joe, the family flips. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, hammer time. Absolutely. 100%. There may as well. Make a couple more. Added a couple more ranches. You'll be surprised when you comment next. So I just picked a couple of people that are always in the chat, it seems like. So let me see here. Ooh, sorry, the chat's jumpy because the all the bans and the timeouts. Oh no, you're good, F&P. We know who you are. I don't either, Joe. I mean, just to me, it's a A1 class A loser mindset. You don't have anything else in your life except to be a loser troll, then you're pathetic. It's very, very pathetic. It's like the lowest form of humans, the trolls, and then like animal abusers and child molesters are below them. That's about the only thing that's below trolls is the animal abusers and child molesters and violent idiots and stuff. Good morning, Plan B Living from Florida. How's it going? Oh, let me make that. Renee, I'll give you a ranch as well. I got you, Kent. You're down. Whack a troll this morning, absolutely. I don't know, Trina. I really don't know what their deal is. You know, what's the goal? What's the point? You know, what's the end goal of it? I don't know. You know. But anyway, we're staying on topic. The trolls got hammered, and that's good. You know, they can get a life. Get out of mama's basement. Good morning, Steven. How's it going this morning? There's another one if somebody wants to get them. Good job. Bye-bye, moron. And you just don't have to, when it's an obvious troll, wrenches, you don't have to just time out them, ban them completely. You know, it doesn't bother me a bit. Okay, so we was talking about cross posting. A lot of people do a lot of different things. One thing I haven't tried, yeah, a lot today, pick and roll. People must be bored on a Friday morning, or morons, idiots, bots, whatever. But another one thing I haven't tried a lot of is cross posting to Etsy. Usually, if I post something on Etsy, it's just posted on Etsy. So I'm seriously thinking about doing some cross posting on Etsy as well because I already do cross post on Poshmark. So may try that with a few items. No doubt, Tommy. Like Tommy says, if you're a troll, at least go after the fraud YouTube content creators. Yeah, no doubt. And they usually have a lot more subscribers than me anyway, so I really don't get it. You know, I just have 1,400 and change subscribers. So, I mean, I'm a small fish in a big pond. There's guys out there with 50,000, 100,000. Crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, Renee says she's been thinking about Etsy as well. Denise does some Etsy stuff, but it's been super slow for her. But she only has 50 listings, cross posts from eBay to Etsy. Do you just do vintage stuff? Your vintage stuff, Denise? That's what I'm going to pick out. It's just my stuff. They have that. I can't even remember now. I haven't done that much stuff on Etsy, but don't they have like a cutoff, like pre 1990 or something that it's like less fees or something? I got to freshen up on the rules of Etsy because I just haven't done that much on it. Only vintage, yeah. And that's what I probably will do too. You know, if I have something that's older or vintage, or I don't have any good examples here. Well, you could, I had these in my haul video. These are really cool. And they're not really vintage, but they're probably from the 80s or 90s. These Buddhas. I had a pair of them. I've already listed these on eBay this week. But, cross posting this type of stuff on Etsy, who knows? I just don't know. I got to do some inventory. That's for sure. Tommy, that's what Etsy started at as arts and crafts and stuff, but now it's like exploded with vintage stuff. and they still do a lot of handmade craft stuff as well, but you know, vintage stuff as well. Like back in the day when steampunk was really hardcore and heavy, I had a bunch of pretty cool like goggles and glasses and stuff, and those sold like hotcakes on Etsy at the peak of that steampunk craze. Because back when I was in Missouri, I would go to all these farm auctions, you know, out in the middle of nowhere, and I got all kinds of cool stuff. One of the few things I miss about living in Missouri was the auctions. You know, I got some really cool stuff at those rural auctions. Renee also does vintage. Not creative enough to make anything. Me either. I'm barely creative enough to do this YouTube stuff. So my wife and I are all the time bouncing ideas like, we need to do this on YouTube, we need to do that on YouTube. And I think we have a good idea for a new series, like I said, and I think I talked about that a little bit, but I'm going to try out a video or two of something new we're going to try. Denise likes vintage dishes, clothing, toys, hats. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, Kim says a lot of schools out today seems to bring out the trolls. That's true. I have family in Kansas City, and schools are closed in Kansas City as well today. So Denise, Mike, you could do your coffee mugs that are vintage. Yep, absolutely. I probably have several hundred items listed on eBay that qualify for that vintage stuff. So have to look into that. Michelle asked, what are the auctions like in Nova? Expensive. I mean, like ridiculously no meat left on the bone expensive. You know, I still even look at them almost every day, you know, but crazy, crazy, crazy expensive. I think it'd be better if I went to like in-person auctions, you know, because it makes it more, basically the more difficult you can make it for people, the better prices you're going to get. Like when I was in Missouri, I loved it when it was like extremely cold or rainy or just like ridiculously hot, you know, because I would get fantastic deals. Good morning, Uncle Warren. Thank you for popping in. Good morning, Marie. Tommy Bernard says, I've never looked into it because every time I Google something, Etsy comes up with over the top prices. Yeah. You know, we're always looking to expand, you know, especially when like this past week on eBay, you know, there's been such a lull. It makes you think about, I need to do something to diversify even more than I already am. So, yeah. And that's what's popping into my mind. Yep. Confirmed, no school. Kim is in Kansas City. It's awesome. Yeah. We have a bunch of families in Lee Summit area, Blue Springs, Lee Summit area. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. Indy 87 Colts. Good morning. Good morning. We have quite a few people from Pennsylvania. That's awesome. Anissa's from Pennsylvania. Taco Stacks is from Pennsylvania, but he doesn't watch me. I like Taco Stacks videos. He's got a huge following, but you know, I like what he does. And what's funny is I used to do some of the exact same stuff in Missouri, but I just didn't video it. Some of the exact same stuff, literally. Like we lived in kind of a rural area, so it took me like 15 minutes to get in town. And on trash day when I'm driving, if I saw something, pull over, throw it in the truck. You know, I can't tell you how much furniture I sold from picking stuff out of trash in Missouri. You know, recycling stuff. I did the exact same stuff that he does, but I did it in Missouri 15 years ago. From when we moved here the previous decade. It's kind of funny. Tommy Bernard says eBay is not open on the East Coast. Yeah, I think so. I think their flashing open sign is off. I don't know what's going on. You're a tech guy. I theorized that their server was turned off or something. You would think they have a redundancy or something or a backup, but Justin had a theory that they had to do something to, you know, correct the calculated shipping and they messed something up. And maybe, you know, that's a lot of code on a website like that. So you can mess things up very easily. Let's see here. Moronic Pest, smaller market on Etsy, so less sellers, allowing you to charge higher prices since there's less competition. Yeah. I wonder is their customer base strong though? I know it was, you know, 5, 10 years ago, but hope their customer base is strong. But you know, it's one of those things, even if you sell just an extra 5 or 10 things a month, you know, it helps bridge those gaps, you know. Patient picker in Pittsburgh. Good morning. Another Pennsylvanian. It's awesome. Uniquely me. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, Kent Dangle says very simple guy, but love watching him. Absolutely. You know, sometimes it's frustrating. He'll be I'll yell at my TV. He'll be picking stuff and he'll pass on it. I'm like, no, don't pass on that. uh, it was a few weeks ago already, but he like passed on a vintage light bright. And I'm like, you picked that up, dude. Because even if it had even if it didn't work or something, but if it had the pegs in it, he could have sold those, you know. He didn't even know what it was initially, but I'm like, no, don't pass on that. Indy says he was born in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Yep. We lived in Columbia, Missouri. I lived in Columbia, Missouri for a decade. My wife is from Missouri. She's from extreme northeast Missouri. She was born and raised there. I'm not going to say specifically, but yeah. Tommy, you're missing your calling. You need to do dive picking. Have you seen those guys? The shit they find is nuts. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's something I'm not against and I would do, but in my area in Northern Virginia, the one thing, it's against the law. And the second thing is all these businesses, their dumpsters are locked, you know, and behind chain link and all that crap. So it's not really worth it, you know. And back in Missouri, I had somewhere to go with this stuff. And here I don't have anywhere to like store stuff and do anything with furniture or recycled stuff or anything like that. Back in Missouri, I had, a nice house on 5 acres and I had a shop that was about 1,200 square feet. And I had a detached garage that was another 800 square feet. So I had plenty of room there. Here, I don't have anything. I got a townhouse and a single car garage. Yep, F&P. I talked about that on Justin's channel. It kind of got buried, but yeah, when you see eBay running out the promos, the get $10 off, save a percentage, all this stuff, you know things are bad. Yep. A patient picker bought a yearbook from 1958. Hope is a good pick. Most of those yearbooks are, even if they're obscure, high school, whatever. I mean, usually they bring a minimum of $20 or $30 on the. I've sold a lot of them in the past. I haven't found any recently, but I've sold a ton of yearbooks, and they may be long tail because it's going to take a particular person. And one from 1958, usually it's going to take someone like me who's into genealogy and like their grandparent or parent went to that school and they're looking for that yearbook. So, oh yeah, absolutely, Tommy. Yeah. And yeah, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to when it warms up, I'm going to do I didn't dive last year, so I'm going to go to Lake Phoenix, which is down by Richmond, and I'm going to do a refresher dive just to, make sure my equipment's all good and, just get my buoyancy right. Cause I have lost a lot of weight too. So my buoyancy will be weird and I'll get my weights, my diving weights where they need to be. And I'm going to start doing dive picking for sure. Yep. 100%. I do need to get a camera that can go underwater though. I've been going back and forth. If anybody has any experience on this, let me know. I've been going back and forth just between a GoPro, because, that's what it's for, or like an Olympus Tough. I just want one that's very durable. I don't want one that's going to crap out after like a few months of diving, and I'm not going to go deep, I'm not going to go say deeper than like 50 or 60 feet. So, yeah, something that'll just keep going from 50 feet and above. Oh, no doubt. The Vintage Fiend says I'd be afraid to get stuck with a needle. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt to that. Hawk says, thanks to whoever in the chat a couple weeks ago mentioned Deneen mugs. I had one in the kitchen holding pins, and I've been finding a couple more while shopping. Awesome. So you're setting on money there, Hawk, and you didn't even realize it, right? Yep. Absolutely. It's amazing the stuff you set on, and that's why I say ignorance is not a bad word, because you just didn't know. You don't know until somebody tells you. It's just like anything. There's still a lot of crap I don't know. Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. You're in Delaware. Tommy, and my favorite one is Bo Oymet, and he lives in Maryland, so he's right in between us. And he does a lot of stuff in my area too. I've never met him personally, but he has over 1 million subscribers, and he does river hunting. So yeah, I've been a fan of his for a long time. Back when he only had a couple hundred subscribers, I was a subscriber of his, and now he's over 1 million. And he's actually doing like a regular TV show too, like just not a like a series, but he'll do like a special. And I don't even know any details about it, but yeah, it's transitioned to where he's doing real cable TV. He's a good guy. See, Hip Flippin' Mama had had a short office meeting, but I'm back. I had a terrible troll this morning. Yeah, it was right after I got on there. You said he was talking crap and stuff. He was a chubby chaser. Oh man, people are so weird, aren't they? Mo asked, with a basic store, how many listings you get? 250 with a basic store. 250. Tommy, you've watched Bo before? He's a good dude. He's been doing, I mean, because it's winter, he's been doing a lot of cave stuff, which I'm not that interested in, but he's still an entertaining guy. So, but I'm a real big fan of his river hunting. And I've talked about this a bunch, but I'm still torn to this day whether to just do a whole new channel with my river hunting, metal detecting, diving stuff. I think I'm going to do a new channel because honestly, how are people that's going to be a fan of that stuff? I know there's going to be some crossover, like I can depend on you guys if I do make a new channel to subscribe to it, even if you don't watch, you know. I feel like a bunch of you would help me out to just get my subscriber base up so other people can find it. But if I'm doing diving and metal detecting stuff on a thrifting channel, how are people that are going to be just fans of metal detecting and diving going to find that channel? So I'm probably going to do a new channel this spring with my diving, and I don't know why that hid that, Candace. I showed it, but yeah, with my diving and metal detecting, river hunting, 100%. Yeah, Renee says she has a basic store, been very pleased with it. Yep, I got one premium store and one basic store. My second account with the basic store is going to go up to a premium store probably in the next month or two. So I'll have two. New message. Let's see what the message is. And you get your free shipping supplies with the store too. Don't forget about that. That's a nice little perk. Let's see the message. Oh, just details about an item. How many watts is this item? What is, literally, they asked this question, what is NIB? Shows about ignorance. They don't know what new in box means, but you know, it's not a bad thing. Just they've never been told. You know, what's crazy is this only on a $12 item. They asked 50 questions on a $12 item. Let me see here. Scroll back up, scroll back up, scroll back up. Oh, thank you, Candace. When I make it, obviously, I'll talk about it on the live channel. So, yeah. Mo says he was scared to get over 100, and now it's on. Yep. And do what I told my sister to do this, and I'll tell everyone here to do this. If you're at that 50 to 100 mark, try to get as high as you can with those free promos that eBay sends you before you get a store. You know, try to get it up close to 200. Try to get as close to maxed out as you can. If you know, because they send out those specials, you can have a bunch of bonus listings. Tommy Bernard, the millions of tourists that come to our beaches each year for the weekend only don't have time to find it. So all the hot kayaking lakes, ponds here are probably gold. Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. And a lot of especially Delaware. Delaware was an original colony. Those swimming holes. Oh, here comes Mr. Hobbs. Those swimming holes and stuff people have been using for hundreds of years. And you can find all kinds of good stuff in those. And yeah, I'd be you know, I've been looking for someone like you in this area, someone that would knows the area. Like my mom and dad went to here to swim and do stuff for my grandparents, and we need to hit here. Like I was talking to my mailman Joe, and he was like, I live basically on the Occoquan River, and it's dammed, but above the dam, he's like, we went swimming there back in the 60s. Like anywhere there's a big boulder, that's where we went swimming. So yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, absolutely, Marie. Marie says, "Isn't that sourcing in a sense?" Yes, it is, because I find Civil War relics, I find silver coins, I find gold. You know, it is picking. It's not thrifting, but it is picking. And 100% is picking. Let me see here. Plan B Living says he uses a Mind Lab. Yeah, that's a great machine, and all these machines lately have been good. I have Garrett machines just because that's what I started with. I still have my original Garrett Ace 150, I think it's called, and I also have a Garrett AT Pro, and I have a Garrett. Oh, I have a third Garrett that's for beach hunting, and the name is slipping my mind right now, but it's a pulse induction machine for beach hunting because you can get a lot of interference with beach hunting. Cody, that eBay doesn't make it easy to find the promo code, but basically there's a promo code in your eBay page, and it's a unique promo code. And you'll shop the eBay shipping supplies, and when you're checking out, you'll put in that promo code, and it'll deduct that whatever your discount is, $25, I think, for a basic store. Let me see here. Marco says, any particular reason you have two instead of one store? Several reasons. The first reason being my main eBay store is a premium account, and it's getting close to maxed out. And I don't want to make, the pay the per item. Plus, I don't want to make the jump to an anchor yet. But the second reason is my second account is in my wife's name completely. It's her. It's technically her account. It's her PayPal. It's her email address. So we don't put all of our eggs in one basket. Say I mess up and do something stupid on the main account, can get suspended. We still have and can't list items. I still have her account I can list items on. So. Oh, sorry. I got to scroll back up. We're going to do my YouTube recap here in a minute when I get caught up on the chat. I went over that promo code, Mo. They don't make it super easy to find, but it's in my eBay somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, 100% Piper John. You should, if you haven't been in a year or two, do just an easy dive. Like we go to this old quarry at Lake Phoenix. It's down by Richmond, and I'll go with the dive shop. I'm friends with guys at this dive shop, and we'll go down there, and it's a good place to dive anyway. It's cool, it's a really nice clear water. Let me see, you're scrolling. Whoa. been F&P says he's been looking for the lost colony his whole life. Yep. Still looking. Yep, plan B, absolutely. Because a lot of people just go over those iron signals and like, oh, it's junk, and it will be junk 99% of the time, but it could be a Civil War belt buckle too. Flipping Particles says he has a metal detector but doesn't know how to use it. What you do, Flipping Particles, is you get your own like change and stuff or a piece of gold jewelry, take it off and just put it on the ground and see what it sounds like. That's the easiest way to do things, to learn how to use your machine. C Dow says you're right. They really don't make it easy to find the shipping supplies. They don't, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because they really don't want people redeeming that code. But yep. Good morning, Bargain Effect. Thank you for coming in. There you go. Michelle did the arrow thing. Thank you for doing that, Michelle. Candace says, I have a friend that spends a ton of his time treasure hunting, so he does metal detector thing, but he also looking for forest fence. Oh man, the forest fence treasure. Whoa, that's a rabbit hole. Yeah, I don't do that kind of treasure hunting. I have no doubt it's real. This rich guy basically buried a bunch of his collectibles, like high end stuff. It's like $1 million worth of stuff, and he did a clues about it, and no one's found it yet. So I don't know, Denise. I don't know if people have different quarters as well, because this is a free coupon code per quarter. And my new one started January 1st, so it's January, February, March. So it sounds, I think it'll be April 1st, Denise. April Fool's Day. Yeah, fun fact, my dad's birthday was on April Fool's Day, April 1st, 1952. Okay, for real. We're going to do our YouTube recap. Moronic Pest says, I found an early 70s metal detector at a flea market for $7, but all I can detect is loose change and plain sight on the floor. That's pretty funny, Moronic Pest. But the thing is, Moronic Pest, a lot of those vintage detectors, other detectors likes to collect them just to have, hang them on a wall. So it may have some value. It may be flippable. So check that out. Okay. So YouTube recap. We have, sorry, I'm getting an app here. I'm doing the main app first with current subscribers of 1,485. Let me get to where I can see here. 1,485. Now go over to the YouTube Studio app, because the Studio app kind of lags on the subscribers. Like the YouTube Studio app is only showing 1,481 when I have 1,485. Okay, so 1,200 views the past 48 hours. The top video the past 48 hours is, surprise, episode 80, 25 items that sold. 583 views in the past 24 hours. 180,544 watch minutes the past 28 days, with 13,105 views the past 28 days. Average view duration still in the 13s, 13 minutes and 46 seconds. Estimated revenue, what everyone wants to see, last 28 days, $76.28. And that still holds firm. 75% ad revenue, 75-80% ad revenue, 20-25% super chats. That super chat from Karen will help a lot. Appreciate that, Karen. 60.8% of views are from subscribers, 29.1% not subscribed, and 10% unknown, whatever that means. So all you watchers that are watching without subscribing, subscribe. Geesh, what are you doing? 96.9% likes versus dislikes. And the top video the past 28 days is episode 76, 25 items that sold on eBay, with 11,159 watch minutes. And number 2 is episode 78. Number 3 is a morning hangout. Number 74 is a what sold, and number 5 is a mid-morning hangout as well. So that's it. That is our YouTube overview part of the video. Get back over here. Let me see here. Moronic Pest, yeah, I should flip it. Yep. Yeah, 76 bucks, Denise. Sorry. I'm on my I'm coming out on the end of my fast, and when I'm really hungry, I get like a hiccup burps. Anybody else do that? Denise, I'm still trying to figure that out. Denise asked, Mike, how often does YouTube pay you? As from what I've read, that actually today is like the cutoff, like the day that we're supposed to be paid. Like for January, it's the 15th of the following month. But I can't remember when I set up YouTube, if I put in bank account information, if it's going to be a direct deposit or what. So I'll let you know when I find out. This is all new to me, it's all new. Yep. Pick and roll, monthly, but you have to have $100 threshold. Yeah. Yeah. Adam ADGG says you're in a good mood for being in a fast. When you get used to fasting, if I almost feel, I don't know what other way to put this, but I feel more clear. like my head isn't foggy or anything. After I eat, I actually feel like sluggish and foggy. But you know, you're hungry, you got to eat. But at the end of a fast, I feel super clear. That's the only way I can put it. Yeah. Let me see here. F&P, do you follow the lore of 8 million worth of gold that went missing with the Confederate Army in Davis left Richmond, Virginia? Not really. Um, do I think there's stuff that hasn't been found? Yes, 100%. But that big of an amount, probably not. But I don't know. You know, you never can tell anything. You know, coming from Missouri, I was always talking to people and getting to know people. And I actually, back when I had my store, I had a Garrett metal detectors like dealership as well. Wasn't that lucrative, honestly, at all. But I had a guy buy a detector from me, and he's like, I know of this place where Jesse James and his gang hid out, and I'm gonna go detect it and stuff. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out there, you know, because who knows what someone hid, someone robbed, someone, you know, hid it and died. Um, I grew up in the country in Jonesboro, and I've talked about that in Jonesboro, Arkansas. It wasn't even in the city limits back then. We lived in, you know, gravel roads in a trailer. Yeah, not a good thing. But there was other people out there that were poor. And there was a guy that lived on the corner, and we called him Uncle Ben. He was just an old guy, you know, with a junky trailer, junky truck, junky everything. But the story is, the lore is that he would bury his money, you know, because he didn't trust banks, and that happened. You know, people. He was an older guy. He grew up. His parents grew up in the Depression. He was a kid during the Depression, so they didn't trust banks. You know, because their money disappeared back then with the banks. So, but he died in a truck accident one day. Like suddenly, he was gone. He was killed in a car accident, and everybody said, "Oh, people need to go out there and dig on his property. He's probably got jars, you know, mason jars full of money out there." And I don't know if anyone ever did. You know, it's private property, so I don't know. You know, there could be jars of money out on this guy's old property. I know where it is to this day. I can envision it, and no one has ever put anything else there. It's all grown up with weeds and trees and stuff, and I don't even know who owns it, if he had heirs or what. You know, so there is the stuff out there. Joe says your brain cells start to heal themselves during periods of fasting. Body doesn't have to spend resources on digesting, that will start to heal itself. Yeah. And like I said, the only way I can put it is I feel more clear at the end of a fast. I'm starving, but I feel fine. I feel great. Danny says there's tons of rich stuff in the Harvey and Charleston. No one can get to it though. Yeah. 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 Charleston has a deep, rich history, even pre-revolution. You know, I have no doubt there's tons of stuff in Charleston Harbor that you can't get to. Yep. Absolutely. She says the water is so dangerous you can't see all the sharks and stuff. Yeah, there's no way I would dive. And the dive shop guys I was telling you about, my friends, they tried to get me. They go down to the James River down by Charleston and stuff, and dive for megalodon teeth and stuff, shark teeth. And they're like, you know, there's alligators and stuff, but they don't bother you. I'm like, no, thank you. You know, I would love to dive for megalodon teeth and do all that hunting and stuff, but I am not diving anywhere where there's freaking alligators. No, thank you. Because a lot of people don't realize that this is South Carolina we're talking about. They're like, there's alligators in South Carolina. Yes, there are. There's alligators in South Carolina, in Georgia, and obviously Florida, and has been sightings of alligators in North Carolina. The warmer the climate gets, and it's getting warmer, the more those alligators are moving up the coast, and there's alligators as far as North Carolina. No, thank you. Yeah, Marie, not at, yeah. You almost have to nowadays the way everything is set up, but you're right, you know. Yeah, me too, Candace. She says she digs the Civil War artifacts, and I love them. Yeah. Alicia asked, how long was your fast? I do a minimum of 16-hour fast every day. You know, 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating. That's minimum. And sometimes I'll go beyond that. I'll go up to 17 or 18 hours, but usually 16 hours. I don't do alligators either, Denise. No, thank you. Moronic Pest. I wonder if Geraldo Rivera ever metal detected Al Capone's vault. Maybe. You know what's funny is I watched that live when I was a kid. That was like what 1988 or 1989, and I remember watching that live. That was on live TV, and they opened this thing up, and there was nothing. There was nothing in there. It was hilarious. F&P, we have them in North Carolina. Merchant Mills Pond on the border of Virginia has 8 gators. Isn't that crazy? Alligators taste yummy though. Yeah. I've eaten just about everything, but I don't think I've ever eaten gator. Yeah. I'll try anything once, usually, except for balut. I won't try that. Yeah, Michelle. Sleeping counts as your part of your fast. So yes, absolutely. So that 8 hours I'm asleep, and I usually sleep 7.5, 8 hours tonight. That counts as part of your fast. There are F&P. There are a few in Back Bay in Virginia Beach. Man, I think honestly, and this sounds kind of cruel, but I think they should be disposed of. In my mind, alligators belong in Florida and southern Georgia. Absolutely, Denise. Highlight of Geraldo's career, 100%. Or low light, whichever, you know. Marie says, I don't do reptiles, bugs, rodents, and I grew up in the country. Justin can tell you what I've seen by my scream screech. That's funny. Yep, I grew up in the country dealing with, snakes, water moccasins. I can deal with snakes, but I ain't gonna deal with any alligators. Absolutely, I agree. I agree, Renee. I would love a pair of nice alligator skin boots. That's about as far as it goes for me. Nathan says he fasts between 8 p.m. and 12 the next day. That's my eating window. Yep. So is that 8 p.m.? That's 16 hours. Yeah, that's your 16. I usually fast from 6 or 6:30 p.m. up through the next day from 10:30 to noon is when I fast. Oh, yeah. The Vintage Fiend says, I've known people who have eaten possum with gravy. Growing up in Arkansas, that's a thing. And that's one thing I've never ate either is possum. But people do. People do. Candace said, we used to get gators in our pool after hurricanes and live in New Orleans. Yeah. That's part of life there, isn't it, Candace? I just said Florida and Georgia, but also obviously Louisiana. And there's alligators in Arkansas too. I grew up in Arkansas, but they usually didn't get as far north as where I lived. I lived in northeast Arkansas, but southern Arkansas, there's gators there for sure. Indy says, if I opened a store in January, would I have an eBay shipping coupon code now? Yes, you would, Indy. Go check it out. What do you drink or do during your fast? Drink water. That's it. Nothing else during the fast. Water. Black coffee is okay as well. I have black coffee and water. Steampunk Down also does 16 and 8. The Vintage Fiend lives in rural Kentucky. Yep. So yeah, what was I talking about? I forget. I had something I was going to say, but I forgot. I'm not that sharp, obviously, still, but yeah. Mo says eats 24/7. Yeah, some people can, Denise asks, how are your sales? Poor, very, very poor. I'm used to average $200 to $300 a day is what I'm used to, in that range, is what's normal. And it's been $100 a day, pretty much on average the past 7 days. So about half of what I'm used to recently. But yeah, I don't know why I went brain dead all of a sudden. I was on a good roll and went brain dead. Got some cleaning up to do today. I bought some more bins because I needed them. All my bins were full. I'm going to do some stocking today. Yeah. Good morning, Glenn. Thank you for popping in. I may film my photography setup today and go ahead and go over that. I've got almost everything done with that. I'm still working on the electrical aspect of it. I got everything plugged in, but it's not ideal. So I need to figure that out. Uh, Marco, slow as well. O'Shan, do you list every day? Yes. Usually, even on the weekends, I'll at least list at least a couple of things on the weekends. So I try to get something up 7 days a week, even if it's like on Friday, like today. When I list some stuff, I may save a couple of things as drafts and list them tomorrow. You know, that's something you can do. Watching your what sold video next, Mike. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that. It's a good one too. My last what sold video, if you haven't seen it, is a good one. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And I'm not saying that just to say that. A lot of the what sold videos are just average ho hum everyday items, but this past one has a few items in it. You're like going to be like, oh my God. It was some good stuff. Yeah, we were talking about your neck of the woods, Glenn, down there in Gator Country. Down there with Glenn and Lonnie. And what's funny is where Lonnie lives, Bonham Springs, is the suburb of Baton Rouge, essentially. I think I've never been down there, but I have family I've never met down there. My great grandfather was married once before he married my great grandmother, and he had 2 kids with his first wife, and one of them was a boy named Lucian, and that boy Lucian moved down to Bonner Springs back, like 1930. I mean, that's how long ago it was, and his family still lives there in Bonham Springs. So I actually talked to one of his grandson's wives on the phone a couple months ago. First time, met the people because they wanted to know about my great grandfather Riley, how he died and all that stuff. And I knew all that because my dad was there when my great grandfather died. My dad was 8 years old and he still remembered it. So he told me all the stories and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Michelle explained if you can scroll back up. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's ridiculous how hard they make that define your shipping coupon code. But basically, it's a redemption code. You have to like copy that code. And when you find the supplies you want and put them in your cart, you'll apply that code and it'll reduce the amount you owe, or try to use it all. Even if you owe a couple bucks over, it'll use the whole, the whole coupon. Because basically you have one shot at using it. So not basically you have one shot at using it. So say you have a $25 coupon code and you only have $20 and stuff in your cart, well, you're going to miss out on $5. So try to use it all. Okay, guys, any last minute questions, comments? I've had a lot of people use the Amazon affiliate links the past few days, and that really adds up. I think I'm up to like $15 in my Amazon affiliate stuff. So that's awesome. I appreciate you guys using those. I have everything in there and even if you just click on a link that goes to Amazon through those and you buy something else on Amazon, I even get credit for that. So thanks if you do your shopping through there. I appreciate it. Our patrons, I've never seen them in the chat, but I have patrons, and I appreciate you guys if you're listening. Thank you so much for that. That month-to-month support means a lot. And the super chatters, of course. I know Denise has done it before. Karen did it today. ADDG, Adam has done it, and a bunch of others. Kent has done it. But you guys, it means a lot, and we do appreciate it. It always. Oh, there's Sue Ann. Hey, Sue Ann, how you doing? Did you get your package? Oh, that's okay, Indy. Yeah. Indy says he's just listening and following the chat. My sister does that. My sister will listen because she drives from Jonesboro to Memphis, Tennessee almost every day, and she'll listen on her drive there. So she doesn't get to participate in the chats. So, oh, you should. That's a good one. Okay, so but anyway, thanks guys. Like I said, I was saying thanks to the super chatters and the patrons and all the new subscribers, all your subscribers, period. The guy people that participate in the chat, you guys are awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to get out and thrift this weekend just like normal. Like I said, I think I'm going to do a video today of my photography setup and may release that tomorrow. I may even do it live tomorrow. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do a pre-recorded video of the photography setup or do a live video of the photography setup so you guys can ask questions? What do you think? Last little bit here. Live. Denise says live. Michelle says live. Either is fine. Live, live, live. It seems like the lives have it. Okay, so tomorrow, I'll probably go live. I'll go ahead and schedule it after I get done here. I'll schedule the live video for tomorrow. What time you best is you think on a Saturday? I know everybody's different, but what, like 9, 10 o'clock? You think? I just want to make sure everybody's awake, because 9 o'clock Eastern is 8 o'clock Central, 7, it goes on and on from there. So maybe even noon. How about noon Eastern? Do a live video. Yeah, no doubt. Because I got to remember my West Coast people. I do have some West Coast subscribers that are not in the live thing that much, but yeah, noon. Yeah. So I'll schedule that. I'll pick a time. It'll be somewhere later morning or towards noon or something. So I'll schedule that as soon as we get off here. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Karen, so much for the super chat. We appreciate it so much. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow live with our photography setup. See you later.